Yogiram Surat Kumar, Yogiram Surat Kumar, Yogiram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. भगवान श्री योगीराम सूरत कुमार की जय। सर्वं योगीराम सूरत कुमारार्पणमस्तु. Before we offer our prayers today, just as a quick glimpse of the divine life of Bhagavan. Once it was the lunar eclipse day, and it was to start at about 10:30. Swami was seated on the top step of the chariot mandap. He started to look at the moon, the full moon, with his raised hands in benediction. His eyes were gazing at the full moon, and there was such tenderness and a pour of love on his face, as though he was blessing the moon. And of course he was. And then slowly, the eclipse started. And then the crescent moon, in its different stages, developed. Finally, there was new moon, complete darkness. And then again, the moon began to grow in crescents. And finally, it landed up as a full moon once again. All through that, Bhagavan did not even move. His gaze was constantly upon the moon with raised hands in benediction. He was not only blessing the moon, he was blessing all those people who must have been chanting the name, doing different types of sadhana at that time. So today also, during the solar eclipse, Bhagavan will be blessing all of us. On that day, Bhagavan made a very remarkable remark. He said, you see, we saw the full moon, and then the new moon, and then again full moon. Normally it takes 15 days from the full moon to the new moon, and again another 15 days from the new moon to the full moon. So from the full moon to the full moon, it takes 30 days, and today, in 2 hours, we saw 3 moons, he said. And in Tamil, 3 is moon. So he kept saying, moon, 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 and laughed. But he was blessing and blessing and blessing all through those 2.5 hours. Not only the moon, not only the nature, but all those people involved in their sadhana during that time. Today, it would happen again from 10:15 to 1:45. The solar eclipse would take place, and we, the few of us here living in the ashram, would gather in front of our Bhagavan's Murti and be chanting the name. At the request of many devotees, it will be live streamed from 10:15 to 1:45. And those of you who can afford to join us, please join, remembering that Bhagavan would be blessing us all through. And the Nama would be much more powerful. There will be an enormous fruit, benefit out of this chanting. Now we will offer our prayers at the feet of Bhagavan. Bhagavan, Sarvam Yogiram Surat Kumararpanamastu. Again, we have been fortunate to sing the name Yogiram Surat Kumar in the shrine of Bhagavan, right in front of his Murti. the Murti with his raised hand in benediction. This could happen only because of the meritorious deeds that we should have done over many births. And today we shall have one more glimpse of the divine life of Bhagavan, a true story of Bhagavan's glory. Two or 3 years back, early morning around 5:30, a group of people, maybe 10 or 15 people, had come from a place called Samayapuram, which is near Trichy. There is a very famous Divine Mother temple. A Divine Mother is very famous also for granting boons. And outside the temple, on either side, are shops selling flowers, tea, coffee, all that. Small shops. So those people were from there. Some of them were having the flower shops and some were selling tea. So they had all come together and we were very, very impressed by their devotion, by the way they sang Bhagavan's Nama. It made a deep impression on us. So we helped them to have some coffee, tea in the morning, have their bath, and then we gave them breakfast also, and then sent. One of those tea shops owned by, I forget the father's name, something like Narayan Swami, who was there, was running the shop. His son, Sashidhar, one day he found himself unable to move. He was not able to lift his hand, he was not able to lift his legs. Though his brain was still working and he was able to talk, he was able to think and talk, but the rest of the body seemed to be a waste, going waste. Naturally, they were all alarmed, and then they took this boy to various doctors, all experts in the field. They went to Chennai, they went to Trivandrum in Kerala, met many great doctors, and they have all passed a verdict that he had, these nerves are all too strained and they are losing their capacity to work. With the result, none of the nerves could function. So he won't be able to move at all for life. And what was more, some of the doctors called these relatives aside and said, he will die soon. There is not much time for him. They gave up completely. So the whole family was in despair, not knowing what to do. And the Sashidhar was so much agonized over it, but there was nothing he could possibly do. At that time, his uncle wrote to him saying that you chant Om Namo Narayana, Narayana mantra. Something will happen, don't worry. A very powerful mantra. So Sashidhar began to chant. He was chanting and chanting. One day, an advocate from Viluppuram had come to the temple of Mariamma, Samayapuram Mariamma temple. He also visited these people. And he said, looking at Sashidharan, he said, there is a great soul, there is a Mahatma in Tiruvannamalai by name Yogi Ram Sanath Kumar. He is called Visiri Samiyar, Panka Baba, a Mahatma with a hand fan. You can take him, Sashidharan, to him. He may be able to do something. He may show the way for relief. So they all immediately took a taxi and then they rushed to Tiruvannamalai. First they went to Arunachaleshwara temple, and there people lifted him out of the car and put him right in front of the temple. And then they all had darshan also. Then they rushed to the ashram. At that time, Bhagavan was giving darshan just outside Pradhan Mandir, seated in a chair. So when his turn came, Sashidharan was carried by his people and put in a chair in front of Bhagavan. Then Bhagavan inquired the details, how it happened, all that, and finally declared. He raised both his hands in benediction and declared, Sashidhar will be all right. Sashidhar will be all right. Sashidhar will be all right. He would live comfortably. Sashidhar would be able to live comfortably. And that's all he did. Anyway, they were very happy. Sashidhar now had hope. He never had any hope until then. But after this pronouncing from Bhagavan, Bhagavan touched him in the depths of his being. He carried Bhagavan with him. He carried his Nama, he carried Bhagavan himself in his heart and began to live in Bhagavan, in the memory of Bhagavan after that. A few days passed, maybe more than a week, and one day, suddenly he was able to sit up in the bed, which he never did. And he did it so naturally that he himself was surprised that he was able to sit up. He called those people and said, look, I'm sitting up without anybody's help. He was very, very happy. His devotion for Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar increased several fold, and he started to chant even more fervently the name of Bhagavan. And after a few days, he was able to stand up. He was staggering, but then he was able to do that. And then slowly, slowly he gained his walk. And then he began to do work also. He bounced back to normal state like anyone else after his visit to Bhagavan. Just imagine how the whole family would have felt. The doctors had declared, given up, saying that he was moving towards a certain death. It was only a matter of time. And here, he was able to sit up, he was able to walk, and then he resumed his work also soon after that. So when they came back to see Bhagavan and reported how Bhagavan's blessings had helped him return to normalcy, all that Bhagavan said, oh, this beggar knows nothing. This beggar can do nothing. It's my Father's grace. Remember Father always. But they knew who the Father was. So the families are all there around. It seems that the pujari there, the temple, Mariamma temple, they were all very impressed with what happened to Sashidhar. Many of them became devotees of Bhagavan. So much so, Sri Mrityunjayan, the pujari there, whenever he gave vibhuti, basma, the ashes from the temple to people, he would always chant Yogi Ram Satmai, Yogi Ram Satmai, Yogi Ram Satmai. So this story, this true story, illustrates what Bhagavan can do by merely declaring that someone would bounce back to normalcy. Now, should we not appeal to him so that this world would bounce back to normalcy, just as Shashidharan did? We shall appeal to the boundless compassion of Bhagavan. Bhagavan Sarvam Yogiram Surat Kumararpanastu. Today again, we got this golden opportunity to chant the powerful name Yogiram Surat Kumar right at the feet of Bhagavan's Murti. Though we are sitting here right in front of him and singing, though you people are in your own places, when you join our singing, you are also seated right in front of him in this powerful, vibrant place of Bhagavan. It's all only due to our meritorious deeds over many, many births. Remembering this, before we offer the prayers, we shall once again learn about a particular Leela of Bhagavan, which illustrates once again his glory and his teaching lesson. Whatever he did, whatever Leela he did, not only give us the joy of this Leela, it also teaches us something higher. This has been my continued experience with him. The beginning, after he came down to Sudama, Bhagavan gave us permission to do the Namajapa in the night also. The daytime will be mostly engaged in work. Of course, our mind is centered on him and his work all the time. But the japa, as it should be done, we got time only in the night. So Bhagavan gave us permission. The very first time I took up this, we would all go to bed early because Bhagavan also did that. About 11:30 or so, I got up, had a wash, and then started doing this Namajapa. Naturally, in between, there will be attacks of sleep. A sudden attack of sleep. Before you know, you would fall asleep, literally fall asleep. So I had a bottle of this gooseberry water, and then I was trying. Every time I felt sleepy, I would get up and start to walk up and down, chanting the name. And sometimes, despite all these efforts, again there would be an attack of sleep. And those times I would take a pickle, something which is very, very hot. And once you take it, you wouldn't be able to sleep. So I tried all these tricks and somehow managed till about 4:30 in the morning. And Bhagavan came down to sit to give us the first darshan. I went and told him jubilantly, with great joy, with a sense of achievement, Bhagavan, the whole night I was able to chant your name and I have completed 20,000 namas. All the time expecting a pat on my back and an appreciative word, an appreciative smile from him, as though I had really achieved something. But all that he did was frown upon me, and a gesture of his hands which said, no use at all. I was shocked. You can imagine after the whole night's hard labor, and I was submitting this labor of love, but all that he did was frown upon me and say it's no use. So naturally, confusion followed, agitation. And then he saw the question in my eyes. He saw my agony. And then he said, Devaki, you said you were doing it. Can you do it? Can we do anything at all? It's only with the grace of my Father we can do anything at all. We can achieve anything at all. Never forget it. Never say that you have done something. What a lesson. Worth yearning, spending the whole night on his Nama to learn this lesson. Even when we do japa, this japa that we have been doing for 1 hour, you think it's possible to do it by ourselves. It's because of Bhagavan's grace. The meritorious deeds that we have done over births, that we have come to him at all in the first place, and we are able to chant his name by his grace, we should never forget that. Not only chanting the name, anything. Bhagavan often said, if you cannot open your eyes or close your eyes without his grace. You cannot breathe in or breathe out without his grace. Anything could be stuck in the night, and we may get up with a problem in the morning. Everything needs grace. So, we should also be very careful when we word things. The first accommodation must be for the grace, because it's the truth. Without grace, remember, we cannot open our eyes, or the opened eyes cannot close without his eyes. After the out breath, if the in breath should take place, you need grace. If there is no in breath, then the body is dead. So let's remember this great lesson that Bhagavan taught me that day. It's meant for all, that everything the body does, even the thoughts that occur to us, and the actions, all the actions that we do in our everyday life, every thought, every word, every deed, they come only from him. And everything that we do is because of his grace. He is activating us from inside into thinking, talking and doing. Never should we forget this lesson. And we should keep applying it in our everyday life. Because whatever concept that we learn, whatever lessons that we learn are no use until we apply them in our everyday life. So now, it is only by his grace that we have been able to chant this Nama for so many days. And it's by his grace we are able to pray at all. And it is by his grace we shall submit this prayer once again to his boundless compassion, boundless grace. Bhagavan,